working, like, you know, or whatever. And so, I mean, I think, again, it's the mindset, how you look at it. But definitely, like you said, get educated. OSU, I've had several members be there. Honestly, truthfully, my personal opinion, they're awesome. Because I've been over at Riverside before, we've been there, and I was like, what the heck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
I've been battling depression since, it still is the battle of depression since 2002. And I don't like taking that stuff. I really do not, because I don't like the way how it makes me feel. My mind tells me one thing, my body tells me another. I just don't like taking it because it's like it makes me feel like a zombie. Like I don't like feeling like that. I just want to feel normal without the side effects. I sit to say heck with it. I don't care. I want the natural stuff. I don't like taking that narcotic stuff that make the side effects. Give me the natural stuff. Then I be cool up here. Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, that's why I'm taking my own. I'm taking my mother.
And you're in depression. And they're not listening to you. You're still but you go from one place to the other, you're looking at what this person said, this person said, they're not listening to you. They try to sensitize you to their life, whatever, and it's making it worse. But nobody's listening. And then at the end of the day, you're not getting help. You just get frustrated. You don't want to do that. Or you go there when you go from one agency to the next agency, from one hospital to the next hospital, and they're looking at what this doctor said. They're not really paying attention to what you're doing, what's going on with you, or what you have to say.
Absolutely. I'm going to get your question. Let me just hear what she has to say first, and I'm definitely going to get that answered.
So what I wanted to say is, as I listen to the conversations, is that one of the things that we all have to do is feel empowered. And so if any one of us walk into a situation and be like, they ain't gonna do this to me, they ain't gonna do that to me, ain't nobody gonna listen to me, we've already walked in a situation defeated. We've already walked in giving them our power.
Come on.
So there's got to be some point in time with all of us, and I'm saying everybody in this room, to say I'm not going to give you my power. You're going to listen to me. And so that might be, you have your so I'm a family coach, and I tell the ladies I work with, don't leave it up to anybody else to keep your document. Get your documentation. And then when somebody goes in and says, if somebody comes in and says, this is what we're going to do. No.
Look, this is what it says.
This is what I need. And I need somebody to listen to me. So I think that in general, one of the things that happens in the minority community is we've been so beat down. We don't feel like we have the power. So any one of us go into a situation where like, they gonna mistreat me, they gonna do whatever. We got it. We have to. All of us have to go in, and guess what? We gotta help each other. So then if it's like, you know what, I know if I go in here, I'm about to go off. Let me get my little calm friend here who can help me keep it. We got it. It's a partnership. It's a village. We got to go back to all of that. Like you said, to the natural stuff. We got to go back to the roots. It's a village. If you feel like nobody listening to you, find somebody that you know gonna have your back, that's going to go in there and articulate. So I just wanted to say, like, yes, that can happen to any one of us, that we go into a doctor's appointment, we go into a mental health, we go into any of those places, and they're going to be like, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you that, and this is what's wrong with you, and I'm going to tell you, and you're going to be like, Bob, stop. So hold on. Let me talk now. So we got to do that, and if that means we partner, then we partner. If that means we go at it together, we got it together, but we all, any situation we're in, we all got to go in like, I am my expert. You're not about to tell me. And so I think if we all try to start going in that way, looking at it, sometimes I go to the doctor like, what he going to say? And then I have to check myself and say, wait, I need to tell him. Because regardless of what insurance you have, they're serving you.
That's true.
They're serving you, and so unfortunately, we might have to make them serve us the way that we're supposed to be served. Is it going to be changed overnight? Absolutely not. However, if we join together and do it together, and we become that village to support each other in our community, so we okay? We got it. So that's just what I wanted to say, because I just heard a lot of, when we go, they do this, when we go, yes, they do. But we've got to change our mindset to say, no. When I come in to this place, you're going to listen to me about myself. So, it's easier said than done. I'm not saying we're going to go in there, kick the door and like, hey, we're not about to do that, but it's got to be a process. It's got to be a process to say that we can do this, And there's advocates. We got to use the advocates. We got to use some of the advocates. If that advocate don't work, I'm getting me another one. I'm going to get somebody that's going to work for me. So empowerment, that's empower. We got to go and empower.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Bravo, and let's help with like the LGBT teenagers. All teens go through suicide and abuse and whatever, they might be homeless or whatever because of their preferences. Okay, but how am I going to advocate something for somebody that I don't even believe in now? Because the system is screwed me.
Gotta start somewhere.
So who in here knows how to fix cars? Okay, so we got a couple people. That's always one of the industries as well, that your engine may need to be fixed, but you like, dang, I'm gonna take it to the car shop. They gonna say that this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. They gonna get the most expensive parts. They gonna say that it took 17 hours for labor when it took 3. You know, it's just one of those things that we just don't trust. And even though we don't know nothing about it, we just be like, I'm not trying to fool with it, right? So the same thing is about mental health. First of all, mental health is one of the most underfunded medicines that there is, just period. There's not a lot of money into it. And a lot of money that's made is in medications. So, that's something to keep in mind. But we can't be afraid of it to make it, so that we can't, get help that we need. You have the right, anybody that's ever come into the hospital, you have the right to have the Board of Ethics come and hear your case. If you're in the hospital, you can say, I want to speak to somebody from ethics. And they have to get down there and talk to you about it. If you feel like the doctor is making unjust assessments about you, ethics, get them down here. Get your client rights specialist, get your patient advocate, patient experience coordinator, whatever they're called. At the hospital, they should all have one. And get down here. If not, then ethics. If they call them something else, tell them equality down here. And let them know that you have a concern. You have the right to do that. And unfortunately, there's like a lot of battling that you have to do. The same, with any other industry that you go into. Like I said, with the cars. If you know something about cars, you can be like, nah, we're not doing that. No. That's not necessary. I can do that. My homeboy, he can get that done. Cool. No, thank you. No, thank you. And we can do that. So, we have to get educated as far as like what our rights are. Because you have a whole bunch of rights. You can have your own psychiatrist. If you feel like you're in another situation and the psychiatrist isn't making decisions that you feel are appropriate, if they're trying to take you off of medications or put you on medications that you don't think are appropriate for you, you can say, I want the second opinion of my other psychiatrist. And when you come into the hospital, they have to timely notify your doctor that you're there. So they can't just be making all kind of crazy decisions for you.
I hear a lot of mental health patients say that marijuana helps still more than it is.
Some marijuana.
So once they can switch it over instead of the pill, get the marijuana. If you give them a marijuana, then lay them down on the couch, you can get all the information you want. They're gonna feel comfortable, they're gonna be smoking. I mean,
It's 21 diagnosis in Ohio. You diagnosed with one of these 21, you can go to Polaris and go get some weed right now. That's if you diagnosed with one of the 21. I Googled it already. Call them and everything and talk to them and all that.
So anything as far as like mental illness or mental health, first of all, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not sure. Yeah, there are some doctors that do prescribe that. And I've had issues with clients that said, yo, you know, me and my doctor, we had it out about, you know, marijuana usage and things like that. But I'm a big proponent of being of sober mind. So you can only make clear decisions if you're sober-minded. So, you know, I don't always advocate just for, you know, marijuana. Now, there's different uses, and they can break it down in different ways, you know, to where, you know, it can be beneficial. Statistics have shown that it's been beneficial. Not people just smoking.
Marijuana helps them way more. Now, I really am talking about for them.
Absolutely. So, you know, people that say they smoke weed because they're stressed, right? It doesn't make your bills go away. It doesn't make the things go away. So, people may temporarily feel okay. People that get drunk say it's okay, but it's still beating down your body. So, you know, just like you would take care of the key of your car, our minds are the most important things that we have in our bodies. Our minds regulate everything. So we have to make sure that we're taking care of that. We're investing into it. So we owe it to ourselves to get educated about our minds. We owe it to ourselves to be able to hear what a professional has to say. You know, whether we take their advice or not, we owe it to ourselves to do that. We owe it to ourselves to be of sober mind and not tear it down with drugs and whatever else.
If you got a mental health, your mind already tore it down. So you smoke the marijuana. I'm not saying smoke it and then forget all the rest of the stuff. I'm just saying put that in the place for the medicine. You still get the help. Just put that in place instead of beating your liver and stuff up, taking all them pills.
So smoking does have negative effects as well. So there's been studies that say that, you know, specifically marijuana use has benefits, but also it does kill brain cells too. So, you know, people tend to be more forgetful when they smoke weed and things like that too.
It depends on the person.
Absolutely. It depends on the person, but like I said, sober mind.
Come on.
You can only get the education if we're of sober mind. That's what he said.
But it depends on because if you smoke too much, you will be high and you be fearful. If you smoke a little bit, your body will let you know. Your body will let you know how much marijuana you take.
Yes.
But listen, also,
You just feel you get closer.
I didn't say make it a habit.
so listen, also this too. So people that are skeptical about medications, we have to be sure that we're not switching one medication for another medication. So we can't take what the doctor gives us and say we don't want medications and then take what the drug dealer gives us. We can't take that.
Right. Right. What you say? Right. That's it.
So like I said, there are a lot of different therapies that people can take. You know,
But my psychiatrist would just say, and be good about it. But the other stuff, it's smart about it.
See, you can actually, because when you smoke the marijuana, you can be comfortable to talk to them, so you can get more real.
So what other things can we do to be comfortable?
The medicine ain't making them
So
comfortable.
it ain't just medication or medication. No. There's a lot of, hey, listen, that's me personally. That's me personally. You know, but
I'm holding myself back. I can't wait to this part over. That's what all it's all about right now.
Amen.
Amen. Right now, continue.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So if you're not a huge fan of medication, don't jump to another medication. There's a lot of different things. We had exercise. We had physical activity. That was one of the things. People that specifically like have ADHD, that have anxiety, that have post-traumatic stress disorder. There's a lot of different natural things that they can do. Just activity, just exercise. It can be something that can get your mind. We're constantly, you know, having brain cells being created in our mind. We can really train our mind to do a lot of different things. We can train our mind to be able to manage stress. You're talking to somebody that got expelled out of high school for fighting a teacher, right? So, you know, but you wouldn't tell me, you wouldn't be able to just tell that by my demeanor, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's various different things that we can train our mind to do. You know, I'm not going to push Jesus on nobody either. You know what I'm saying? But just like I say, physical activity, pray, go to church.
Come on.
Thank you. People's religious identifications, you know, really can be helpful. It certainly helped me in my life. Before I had those principles and things like that in my life, didn't have good set of rules that I followed. Everybody was my equal. Any authority, police officers, teachers, anybody, you know, they were my equal. You know, so we have to be mindful of those as well. You know, but like I said, there's a lot of different things. You have to get educated. You have to see what works for you. Medication isn't for everybody. So we just have to be mindful of that. If you're not satisfied with the doctors that you're going to, shop around. You're paying for a service. If I have a server that's garbage, yo, give me your manager, give me somebody else, give me another table. Like, you have the right, you have the power to be able to do that. If there's a hospital that you're going to that you don't feel is good, you got options. See what your insurance covers. Like, you have a lot of different options. There's a lot of people that want to help. Yes, ma'am.
Rather than
I think we kind of painted the doctors as just like bad people that just want to make money. So when you ask your doctor and they say, hey, we just want to give you this, you can say, well, what other kind of natural remedies do we have that are available? And they can give you research on that. If they can't give you research on that, you will have to look up, you know, something that, you know, kind of goes with and correlates with whatever kind of medication they're prescribing. And you probably want to find another doctor.
All right.
You want to find a doctor that can give you all of your options. You know, when my knee was swollen, I was like, yo, listen, I need something. I can barely walk. They said, you know, raise it, ice it, compress it, and you just chill. That's what they told me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you see what I got? And he said, just chill. You know, okay, cool. And it was fine after a while. You know, a couple days later, it was good. So, you know, it's not for everybody. You know, but you want to be working with a provider that has your interest at heart. You know, because like I said, you're paying for a service. You work hard for it. You know, your job is coming at your check. So you want to get somebody that's, you know, helping with what you got going on. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, we got 5 minutes left. Did anybody else have any questions that they had on their mind that they just wanted to get out? Do we know what a stigma is? Do we know how we can kind of combat some of those things? Some of the language that we use? You know, even when we're talking to each other, talking to our peers, talking to our family members, we got to be careful, you know, how we are affecting them. You know, throwing titles and labels on them. You're bipolar. You're crazy. I personally have to be mindful of the words that I use. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Right.
It ain't crazy. You know, there's different words that we need to use. Everything isn't crazy. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But, you know, we kind of water down the words, you know, to other things, and then we don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
So, you know, we be like, yeah, man, you crazy. Man.
That's like girls couldn't say, I'm bipolar. They be happy as heck. I'm bipolar.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you watering down what bipolar really is.
Bipolar
You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely, absolutely,
they
absolutely.
think it's cute. I'm bipolar.
That's true too. If I say you know that I don't really mean you crazy or I'm bipolar.
No, I'm
Right?
saying,
Absolutely, but
They always do that when they women. They always call women crazy.
But listen.
Yeah.
So with somebody that is crazy though, are they going do we feel like if somebody really does have a mental illness or mental issue, that they'll feel comfortable coming to us about it? You know, I mean,
nah, and if they is crazy, you're not gonna tell them they crazy.
right,
Unless they like your cousin or something.
Like for instance, when he was speaking about the children and the way we say things to our children, it's something said that, you know, when you speak a thing, you put it out there in the atmosphere,
Right.
it can become. So once you get ready to water that seed, it will start to grow. So
Amen.
when you get the saying that you just bad, it still make no sense how you just messy, and you just, all those words is going into that child's brain, and then you continue to keep feeding that, what you gonna get? A crazy, messed up, messy, disobedient child running around. So that's what we gotta do. We gotta go every time. But we don't know later on what's to come. So we can't say never. So we don't know what's to come later on when that child gets to be 10 or 11 years old when we're talking to him at 4 and 5 years old. Because right now we're talking about the children. This is what our whole little thing is, but adults too. But right now I want to kind of focus on the kids, go back there. Because that's what we tend to do. We tend to grab them up, tell them things that are negative, and then we let them send them off somewhere else, and then they're acting out, and the teacher's not wondering why. Well, you just called your child a little trifling, little ratchet, little this, that, and the other, and you don't think that that's affecting them? I do. In the back of their head. So now mind you, when they get years later, but you continue to do it as years go on, then now what do you get? So that's just one thing that we're going to have to stop when our child is acting out. Let's just try another tool to use instead of that, because we're angry. We are MH, which is mental health. We're mental health. So let's work on us a little bit and then keep these kids together, because that's what's happening. Y'all know I see them every morning. Y'all know I see them every morning. They can't even get out the car good enough. Get that. You got just all of that, and now they got to go into the school.
Early in the morning.
You want it early in the morning. They start off their whole day with that. We don't know what happened at home. So we don't have to work on us and get all these resources that we're talking about in these sessions and start to use them, because it's not good. It's not good.
When we was younger, my mom used to always call us mom. So she was like, oh, Mom, we up and not going there, but we knew not to go in there and act up.
So we know that everybody has so many wonderful comments to make, and we really want to be mindful of everybody's time. So we're going to have to bring this session to an end. There are some coaches here, myself and Miss Renee. If you want to have some further questions or if there's some information any one of us can help you with, we're willing to do that. So we do have to end our session. We're going to turn it over to Miss Chastity.
Do you have any last remarks?
Take advantage of the coaches. These are resources. We're talking about resources that we can take advantage of. Use the resources. Talk to the teachers if you have kids in school. Use your resources. You know, we can't say that things don't work if we don't exhaust all of our options. You know, and that's the only way that the kids can really, you know, be helped, essentially. I've had the opportunity to work in a school that was like 98% Somali, and the rest was Hispanic. And in a school full of just minorities, just a positive comment that you give to somebody, what that can do to a kid's self-esteem. And self-esteem can make a kid feel like they can do more, so they try harder. I mean, if you see them academically excel, you know, it's amazing. You know, so we have to just be careful of our words, take advantage of our resources, you know, and just make sure that we're not sweeping stuff under the rug and addressing things.
And that's the same with your friends.